Good morning. Happy Thursday. So, yesterday, assignment number 5 was due with the revisions completed at 3 p.m. for 100 points. So, hopefully, I'll have time today to grade that and post that on Aries. We're all supposed to start thinking about assignment number 6. Now, assignment number 6 is about double exposures. Now, what a double exposure is at least two different photographs that are put together as one. Some students I've seen in the past, they've put combined three photographs together. Now, I realize that times are not as easy as they once were. It's not easy to get photographs, but we hopefully have a little more experience under our belts and are understanding what symbolic photography is, staging photography, whether you have somebody help you take pictures and you're the model, or you're taking pictures of other people or of their hand, or curled up in, for example, somebody did post traumatic stress and trauma. Here we have a student with post traumatic stress and trauma. So he staged himself curled up and he had his mom take a picture of him and then he put in a shadow effect. So if you need your family members to help you, that's fine. I'm open to that. You can use another photograph, like if you find a really cool photograph of a landscape or something that symbolizes your concentration. I'm allowing you to use it, but you have to change it by 80%. As you can see, this face is overlapping it, and that would have been from the student. So you can combine something off the internet, but you don't use it in its entirety, and you make it um, 80% yours. You change it that much. This student here, he set things on fire and then he collaged it with a background off the internet. As you can tell, this is not 80% of his artwork. The majority is of his hand, his backyard's ground, and what he's staged on fire. So it takes some work, but it's a lot of fun, and you can get a lot of great assignments out of this double exposure experience. Now, if you're an AP student that's doing AP art, yes, I still want you to do the double exposure, and you're going to draw it or paint it or do it on a tablet drawing and painting. Okay. So, yes, you're still doing the double exposure. So here are all, this is combined with drawings. And it doesn't have to be a human silhouette. I just happen to pick those. Now, I didn't put a whole lot of information about the double exposure because I want you guys to conduct research. That's a part of this. You're supposed to be your own little people, and I'm not supposed to just um, have you copy everything that I do. This is about you doing research, you taking photographs, and you creating. I could help with Photoshop and things like that and tweak things to get adjustments just right, but this is for you to do. All you need to do is everything's at your fingertips. I'm so jealous. I wish at your age I had the internet like this. So what you would do is you type in double exposure Pixlr, Pixlr. I asked everyone to get this Pixlr app, and if you look here, there's like 101 different tutorials, and I would watch a couple of them and see what makes sense to you. And they can walk you through it. If you're struggling, I've never used Pixlr. I don't have a Chromebook. I use Photoshop to do all these things. I'm not the one to teach you this. There's so many tutorials at your fingertips. And you can also look under images. Oh, I really like how this person did this or that. It's all out there for you. Surrealist effect, double exposure, tutorial. Just put in the word tutorial and they'll walk you through it. Some are faster paced than others. This is an easy enough assignment, and I think you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Does anybody have any questions about this before we get started? You're gonna need at least 2 photographs. Yes, you can use up to 3.
I
You
have a question.
Yes.
So, the photographs thing that is took at the beginning of the school year, can we use those if we messed with Photoshop and did
I
double
hear a lot of
exposure?
noise when you're talking, like somebody's banging something at the same time. What were you saying?
So for double exposure, can we like use the photographs we had from the
Before?
beginning of the school year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let's say you have a really beautiful childhood photograph of yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be from those photos or photos you just took right now. Maybe it's your grandmother and you want to put an image of her younger self in there with them. I'm trying to get you to expand out of the parameters as long as you're changing it by 80%.
Does it have to be a photograph or can it be like drawings, like two
You can
drawings?
combine your drawing with a photograph or two drawings together. I'm open to that. That's a great idea, May. Absolutely. But I would like for you to learn how to take two images, whether it's a photograph of a drawing or a photograph of a person or whatever, and overlap them together. So I have some examples of some double exposures that I had my beginning students do. There was a couple of advanced ones that wanted to be a part of the art show. So I asked them, they were my experiment before I asked you guys to do this assignment. So I said, if you really want to be in the art show, you could do a double exposure and make it original. Here we have Samantha. This isn't a double exposure. She used PixArt, which is a phone app. It's the same kind of concept though, and you can see the hands around, you can see the different music, and the irony of her sweatshirt is Looney Tunes, and these are all the songs that are in her head. It's similar to double exposure. Here we have Lillian Rios. She is a beginner in sixth period. She combined a picture of herself, a photograph of a sunset she took in Buena Park, and then another photograph of a rose picture that she took from Floral Design. That's three images she overlapped together. Okay? Yes, it could have been a drawing. Here we have Alvaro, and we've been working on this for the art show. He took a picture of his own eye, and then he had a picture of a bonfire, and he put that into the eye. So that's a double exposure of two images. Here he played with, here's a better image of it, of cherry blossoms and then a photograph of himself, and he overlapped the two and he changed, it to black and white for him, and the cherry blossom he kept in the color. You gotta be careful when you, work with these that you don't mess up your resolution. I noticed when he did the repetition, they became very blurry. You can see how blurry let me move this out of the way. This piece is very blurry compared to the quality of this one. So that's something to keep in mind, that you wanna keep your resolution high and nice and clean, especially if you wanna put it for an art show or for the AP exam. So these are some double exposures. Here we have Mauricio, and I helped him with this one. And he already had a photograph of his dog staged as a puppet show. And then we put in the curtains. So that we found off the internet. And then he took a photograph of his own hand. And then I helped him try to put that in front of the dog, like he's puppeteering the bone, teasing the dog. Okay, so that's three different images combined into one. So somebody else, May, she played around and she has here drawings that she illustrated and pasted them onto herself. How did you do this? With what application?
I used MetaBang.
How do you say that?
MetaBang.
Let me write that down. How do you spell it? Like that?
Yeah.
Is this a phone app? Is this
It can be a phone app, but it's also a computer art application.
Okay, great. So these are options. I would like you to try to do this in Pixlr because I want you guys to get familiar with Pixlr. I'm trying to copy this. Hold on. And I'm going to put this on the agenda because there's all kinds of fun applications you can use. And the more we share, the better. Pixlr,
I know another one.
yes.
IBIS Paint.
Hold on. PixArt, IBS Paint.
IBIS Paint.
Okay.
I think there's I think there's an X at the back. I'm not sure. That's
Let me do
normally
a
how you
search of it and see what comes up. This feedback is very helpful. Let's make sure we get it right. Oh, like that?
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to copy that. I'll put that on the agenda. Okay. I don't know if I spelled the PixArt right. Right here, these two are PixArt, P-I-C-S art. So this is an example of PixArt, and so is this. So these are the different kinds. Did I spell that right? I did. I think I did. Yep. Of applications you can play with. This is the one I'm emphasizing because I really want you to doodle and play with that one. But these are other applications. Okay. Any other questions for the good of the group? This was a great conversation. Thanks for sharing with me. So you're going to start on this, and I can give you advice. Miss Brown, what do you think of this picture, this picture? I have 5 pictures I really like, but I'm not sure, and I'm going for this or that. And that's the stuff I can kind of help lead you and expand your horizons. Remember, your exam is evolving, your process is changing. Just because you had it narrowed down to one question or term, it doesn't mean it can't change and evolve over time. They want to see that. They want to see the evolution of the storytelling. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video and start grading. Uh-oh. Wow, my internet's slow.